Easy with, how do I pay my bill? This is the fun stuff in the morning. All right. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about our student accounts office. We are located in Stockton, and let's see. I'm just going to show you walk you through a little bit of our website. So we're located in the Finance Center, which is a beautiful brick building in the center of campus, and it is separate from the Financial Aid Office, which is in the Knowles Hall building. So I don't know how many of you have been to our Stockton campus, but just so you know, financial aid, not student accounts. We're part of what we call Student Business Services. So Student Business Services encompasses our student accounts office. It also encompasses student loans. As our San Francisco graduate students, you all won't interact with our student loans office. It handles our Perkins loans and something called HPSL, which is Health Professional Student Loans, which none of you qualify for in these programs. We also have a cashier's office, so if you're in the Stockton campus and need to cash a personal check, we can do that up to $50. And then for Stockton campus, we do charge for parking because we do have parking available on that campus, and that's done through our cashier's office. So that's pretty much the nitty-gritty of the Student Business Services office. And then really what I want to kind of show you is, how do you get to the student accounts website? What can you do there? How do I see my bill? How do I make payments? How do I know how much I owe? All of that kind of nitty-gritty. So let's start with the main University Pacific website. So here's the website. The shortened URL for the student accounts office is just go.pacific.edu/student accounts, one word. If you can't remember that, you don't need to remember it. You can always go to the A to Z directory, which is right here in the top right. And if you click on that, under the S, you can find student accounts right here. And that'll take you to our main student accounts website. Okay? So obviously it tells you a little bit about our office, and then important announcements. The first one in bold. August 1st is our fall term deadline. Now, not all of you have registered for your programs and your courses this fall yet, so obviously August 1 has passed. For the incoming students, we do give you a bit of a grace period so that we say August 1st or upon enrollment. For most of you, you've already made some financial arrangements with financial aid or made payment. For those of you who haven't, I'm going to just kind of walk you through what the process is. Okay, so tuition and fees for San Francisco, you'll see has a separate page. If you haven't already seen it, it outlines for you how much is tuition for your programs, how long is your program. These are just estimates for you to kind of have a ballpark. You also see, let's see, so that's your tuition. How do you actually get to the point of looking at your bill? So you go to Inside Pacific, which you all should have access to. How many of you all logged into Inside Pacific? Great. Keep in mind your U.Pacific email address is your official notification from the university. Student accounts office, financial aid office, registrar's office, we're all going to email you at u.pacific.edu. That is your email for life, even as alumna or alumni. So anything that we're going to send you, your bill notification, any of that sort, will all come to that email. So you want to make sure you keep checking that, okay? So I'm going to log in as a test case, and we'll show you what that looks like and how to log into your bill. Okay, so you log in and you'll see these tabs. Most of you have confirmed your registration to this, so you're somewhat familiar. You're going to click on the academic tab, and then you'll see right here it says Manage Your Account. You'll look for kind of that brick building, and you click on here. You are considered Stockton campus students because we support you in the Stockton campus, even though you're physically located here in San Francisco. Okay, so you'll click on that. It'll take a moment to load. Okay, and this is what we call our payment portal. So here what you'll see is your current account status. It'll tell you your current balance. Over on the right column, you'll see your e-bills. Typically for your programs, we will create a bill for you on the first Tuesday of every month if you have a transaction. So whether you made a payment or you have a payment due or things of that nature, you should receive an email to your U.Pacific account saying you have an e-bill that's available. It will not give you the bill. It's not a PDF that's attached. We don't send anything via paper. So it's only an email that says log into Inside Pacific and check your managed account. And then this is your e-bill. And you can see if the envelope is open or closed whether you've opened that bill. So you can click View. And the thing about the bill, it's just like any other credit card you have, right? It's a statement in time. It shows all of your transactions for the past prior month. So here is just a previous balance, so you'll see that's all it showed. It's not, because this was generated on August 4th, if I've made charges since then, it's not going to be reflected on the bill, because just like your credit card, it was a statement in time. Anything post that date is not going to reflect on that bill. So you'll see the bill says, the bill was generated on August 4th, here's your student ID number, here was the balance at that date, and the due date, and how much is totally due. Okay. Where you can click, it says click here on the left side to click here to view account activity. That's where you're going to see a rolling list of all of the transactions on your account. Okay? So this is just a test account, so you can kind of see the types of fees and things that would show up. So it will show you right now the entirety of your academic career at Pacific. So if you did any other programs at Pacific, you'll see some of these items on there. And so the last thing we did was some of you had a confirmation deposit. You'll see that reflected. So this balance will be more current than what you saw on your bill because the bill was generated 2 weeks ago. Okay? So current activity, that's good to know. Now you see, okay, looks like I have a bill that's $12,401, then click here to make a payment. We only accept checks from U.S. banks. So payment must be made on a U.S. check. You can pay it online here. It's the easiest way to do it is you just enter your routing number and your bank account number. Keep in mind we won't accept checks from money markets. It has to be a personal banking account, so it can't be a corporate account. And then once you make this payment on the system, you'll see the payment dynamically on your student account. Your balance will show 0 if you made a payment in full, and then that will come to us. Alternatively, you can mail us a physical check. So if you have a money market check that you want to use, you can mail that to us. And the address is on the website. It's just the Stockton address at the Finance Center. Okay. Let's see. So you would make this payment. You could do all that. You can make payment. The other thing is, if some of you are fortunate and have other individuals helping you make payments in the account, you can add them as authorized users. So on the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that we've added someone as an authorized user. It will send, let's say I'm going to add Heather as an authorized user in my account. I can add her, right? It asks you what do you want their user ID to be, what's their email address, and what access do you want them to have. And then you can write them a note. That link goes out to them. They have 24 hours to activate it and set up their own password. And then you can give them access to also receive the e-bills notification when we send that out the first Tuesday of every month. Or they can also log in and make payment on your account. Okay? So we've got authorized user. The one thing I do want to go over a little bit is how many of you are receiving some type of financial aid through the university for these programs? Okay, great. So I'm hoping all of you have filed your FAFSA and that you've all received your financial aid award. So the part of that is you want to accept all your aid, and when you log into your financial aid package, I don't think there's one on this test account, so I'm not going to log into that. We can try. I don't think there's any financial aid on this, so I'm not sure how helpful it will be. Yeah. So there's no aid on this, but make sure that if you have an award that you've accepted all your financial aid. For grad students, it's really only two options, right? It's the Stafford unsubsidized of $20,500, and if that exceeds the cost of tuition, then you'll get an additional monies through Grad Plus loans. Make sure that not only have you accepted your loans, that you've been approved for a Grad Plus, if that's something that you're wanting to take advantage of. In addition, entrance counseling. Please make sure you've completed your entrance counseling and completed your promissory notes for both Stafford and Grad Plus. If you have not done so already, please do so because your aid will not disperse on your account until that's completed, and that means you won't actually be financially approved to begin the program. So we want to make sure you have your aid that's already accepted, your Grad Plus loan is approved, promissory notes completed, entrance counseling completed. Once that's done, you'll see when you log back into your payment portal, this amount will show zero balance or whatever the difference might be between your tuition and what your aid is. So even though it won't show on your current activity, we'll know that, okay, student A has been authorized for $20,500 for the Stafford loan. Keep in mind that's annual. We bill you by term. So if you're on a semester term, $20,500, $10,250 will show up on your account. Caveat, Stafford loan has a 1% loan origination fee, so you're not going to get the full $10,250 on that. Keep that in mind when you're making calculations. Grad Plus loan, if you read your promissory note, you'll know it's a 4% origination fee. So keep those two things in mind when you're calculating the payments. Okay? Any questions along the way? I know I'm going through this rather quickly. Okay, great. So we talked about your financial aid, we talked about how to look at your bill, how to make payment. Let's see what else is there. Okay, so the other thing is there were two forms that Olivia passed out for me. So this first one, it says Title IV Authorization to Release Non-Institutional Charges.
Do you have an extra?
No, we're missing one.
We're missing one.
You can have mine. Oh, are there more? No, right here. Okay. Are there not more direct deposit forms? Who needs Title IV forms?
Yep.
Okay, so the Title IV form is really only relevant for students who have financial aid through the institution. And what that means is that if you have excess, it can apply towards other charges on your account. So if you had an overpayment this semester and you wanted to go to your next semester's tuition, this authorizes us to use that aid toward your tuition for next semester, okay? So we want to just make sure that we have that. All you need to do is complete that. If you have it for me, I'll collect it today. Otherwise, Pamela, can I just ask that you collect those and get those to me? Okay, great, thanks. The other form is the direct deposit form. Yes?
We're missing.
Okay. Who has all of my forms?
For the direct deposit.
Okay. Who needs a direct deposit form?
They just get.
Okay. These forms are also online. Let me show you. I'll show you where these are. So the direct deposit forms are also really only for students who typically have financial aid on their accounts, because if you take out the full loan, it's going to cover cost of tuition, living expenses, books, and all of that. So if you're just billed for your $14,000 tuition and you pay the $14,000, most of you aren't going to use the the direct deposit form. But some of you who do have financial aid and the loans are going to exceed the cost of tuition, you're going to want that refund money back. As a graduate student, you don't have to do anything to request it. We're just automatically going to start issuing those refunds to you in the second week of the term, which is, I believe, August 30th or 31st. So what you'll want to do, though, is instead of having a check mailed to your physical residence, where you have to wait for the check, cash a check, or go to a bank, and there's no Bank of Stockton in San Francisco, the easiest thing to do is to fill out that direct deposit form that I left for you. You're going to want to put all your banking information and then a voided check or print out from your account. And the easiest thing to do is to email it to payroll@pacific.edu. payroll@pacific.edu. You can also fax it to them if you prefer to fax it. Their fax number is area code 209-946-2991. Okay, so the direct deposit form makes it really easy. If you can fill that out now, by the time we get to the second week of classes, your information will be in the system, and that refund will just automatically go into your account. So that's really only for folks who have a credit balance on their account, and if you have aid, it's probably that population of students, okay? So we talked a little bit about this, and then I'm going to walk through the rest of our website. Let's log out of this. Log out of this. go.pacific.edu. Matthew/student accounts. Okay. So tuition and fees, as we update that, this will be updated here as well for you in San Francisco. The other two sites are for the Stockton campus-based programs and the Sacramento programs. The payment deadlines, the payments are always due in the first of the month of before the term you're starting. So one of the things for the payments is that we do offer a payment plan, and you can log in through the portal, and it's we break it up into 4 monthly payments. For fall, typically it would be August 1, September 1, October 1, November 1. The first month, we do add a $75 deferred payment plan fee, if that's an option you'd like to take. Okay, so payments are due from the first for August 1 for fall. For all the programs except for audiology, it will be January 1. Audiology, because you're on a trimester schedule, your payment will be due on December 1 for the pharmacy spring term. Okay, so the payment deadlines are all here on the website. Walk you through how to pay your bill online, through the mail. And payment plan options. We have all our policies here. You don't have to request a refund, so that's fine for you. If you decide to drop or withdraw from a class, it walks you through the refund schedule. Always make sure you take a look at that so you understand what your financial obligations are and how it would impact you if you do drop or withdraw from a course. Okay, it gives you all of that schedule. And then this here, frequently asked questions, any questions that you might have are there. And then the forms, handouts, and calculation worksheets. This is really helpful for you to get a sense of, okay, so how much is this going to cost me, including any fees or cost of tuition? How much is estimated for me in terms of my cost of living or books? That will also show right here through the financial aid page. This is program costs and budget sheets. So most of your programs are going to be on this page, right? So we've got data analytics, we've got audiology, we've got food studies. Music therapy is going to be under the regular undergraduate and graduate traditional programs. So all of these are what financial aid uses to figure out what's the estimated budget for you when we're looking at how much aid to allocate you. So that's something that's a good resource for you to have. Okay. And the forms that I handed out, Title IV form is right here. If you'd rather fill it out online, because they're all fillable PDFs. If that's easier for you, that form is right here. Direct deposit form is also online, also a fillable PDF. And I believe that it's also going to be online through the Canvas orientation, if that's going to be made available to you. Okay. And then the last piece that we do, which won't impact you until next year when you're filing your taxes, is 1098-Ts. So that's what we report to the IRS as your institutional charges and payments. We will issue that to you. We'll send you an email that says it's ready for you to look up on your Inside Pacific account. We try not to mail anything out because it's got such confidential information for you on it. So it'll be available for you in Inside Pacific. Once it comes out, there'll be a link from our student accounts website on how to access it. For those of you who have not provided your social security numbers, because that is what we require to file that with the IRS, we will be sending you out an email or a letter probably around November saying, hi, we need your social security numbers. So we're going to send you a form called a W-9S. That I need back mailed to us because we need your wet signature saying, hi, I'm Jean Hahn, my social security number is XYZ, and I authorize you to use that for the 1098-T. The 1098-T you use for your taxes because it will say, my tuition was $14,000, I made a payment of $14,000, right? So you want to have all that for your taxes. And we want to be able to issue that for you so you can utilize that. So that's the other piece that we use, that we support in the Student Accounts Office. So really it's about sending you your bill, making payments, making payment arrangements, and then your 1098-T and kind of helping you through the financial aspects of your education. Okay? Any other questions? Great. Thanks and welcome to Pacific.